He's Howard Eibach, former copywriter and creative director and the author of 2 books on the creative brief.
And he's Henry Gomez, an ad agency strategist with 29 years of experience. Together, Henry and I are the Brief Brothers. We love talking about creative briefs, briefing, and advertising. Henry, today we have an old friend joining us on this episode. He's got a major announcement. His name is Marc Lewis, which was probably familiar to some of our viewers. We'll let him tell us his story. We're back with another episode, and we have an old friend joining us today, Marc Lewis, who's the Dean of the School of Communication Arts, all the way in London. I had the privilege of joining his class live and in person earlier, I guess it was in April. That was a joy. These students are dynamite, enthusiastic, and committed. We've asked Marc to join us again because there's something new and exciting going on at the School of Communication Arts in London, in one of the funkiest parts of town. And we want Marc to tell us all about that. So first of all, Marc, welcome back to the Brief Brothers. We're really excited to have you.
Oh, well, thank you, Brief Brothers. Hey, Henry, it's lovely to see you again in Zoom. Howard, it's lovely to see you again in Zoom. And it's great to meet you properly in person and welcome you to the school and take you for some dinner with my family afterwards. We all loved meeting you, and we're still talking about you and your trip. So, yeah, it was great. Great that we could spend a little bit of time with you, and I hope that you keep coming back, as they say. The school's a special school, and I'm really pleased, grateful that you came to experience it. And I know that you've spoken to a number of our students over the time, and you've met alumni, and again, I'm grateful for that, and that my alumni get to meet you and get to meet your fans and followers. But we've been a small school on a small island with a big pond in between. And I've wanted for a long time now, for diversity is really important to the school in every sense of the word. I wanted the school to be even more diverse in every sense. And I didn't want time and geography or money to be a barrier. And so we've been thinking long and hard about how we can make our incredible school and the way that we bring people together, make that even more available to even more people in even more interesting ways. And our answer to that is our take on delivering an online learning experience. So we've got news to share, which is SCA already lives in London. We have been living for a while, as you know, in the metaverse, and that's a lot of fun. But now we have an opportunity for wherever you are, whether you are in the US, in Europe, or somewhere not London in the UK, we can still hopefully help you build an incredible portfolio of ideas that you produce, that you're proud of, that will help you land your dream job, or help you launch your freelance career, or help you get promoted inside your organization. So really, this is an opportunity for people that want to break in or break up. And what it is a 6-month commitment. So you'll be joining us for 6 months, knowing that every week for 6 months, we'll drop a video into your learning library, which lives on your phone or lives on the internet, wherever you want to meet. And we'll ask you to watch that before you meet up monthly online with your cohort and us for a half-day workshop. And because of time zones, it works really neatly that we can bring Europe and America together. So in our current cohort, we've got 10 learners, 4 of which are American, 6 are European. And it's amazing to bring the Americans and the Europeans together, because they'll have different advertising case studies and examples to share with each other, and maybe even opportunities as well. So we tend to run our workshops in the afternoon UK time, morning US time. And that works really nicely for us. So half a day, once a month, you'll meet up online with your cohort for a workshop. And in between the monthly workshops, you can then book calls with members of my faculty whenever you want to chat. Howard, you've met some of my faculty, and we're doing our best to twist your arm to give us more of your time so that we can allow people to book for you on that. But you'll know that we've got incredible people, and you can just book time with a member of faculty as if you're booking a haircut or your nails done or a restaurant. And on this course, you can book 3 of those chats every month, 45-minute chats, to talk about things that maybe happened in the workshop or in those videos or briefs that you're working on. Briefs that you work on might be live from agencies in our club, or we'll point you to the incredible database of amazing briefs that the Brief Brothers are collecting and aggregating. They're always good places to practice your craft. Or we'll teach you how to write briefs so that you can build your own portfolio. And this will all finish with opportunities for you to show your portfolio to friends in our network. And we've got 15 years of Friends as the world's most awarded ad school. Now, what excites me about this news is I suppose several things. The London school's expensive. Portfolio schools are expensive, and that can be prohibitive. And also the London school requires full-time commitment, and it requires you to be in London. This course we've launched, I'll explain the price in pounds, and in dollars I guess it's 3,000 or so dollars. It's £2,500 for the course. Now, what excites me about that from a US perspective is I understand that education in America is generally really expensive. And I hope that that this course will make learning even more accessible. And guys, I've set up a voucher code, BROS 500, BROS 500, so that anybody that follows the podcast doesn't need to pay £2,500. They'll only pay £2,000.
Well,
so,
it makes me want to, come out of retirement and start as a creative again, to be part of the school. It's amazing. It's an amazing environment.
Well, we would need to give you a scholarship because we would know that you would be a magnet to great talent to come and join. And we would write
Flatterer.
But seriously, we want this course to be a reason that anybody was going, I can't afford to invest in my education. We need to make this as accessible as possible. And for me, that blend of delivering classes once a week in the library, once a month in the workshop, but time with the teachers when you want to meet with them, allowed us to build an affordable learning experience that would also allow us to welcome people, whether they were wanting to work full time or whether they were carers or holding down 2 or 3 jobs or whatever. We just really wanted to make sure that this amazing school that we're lucky enough to have to be able to be with the center of some weird crazy energy that is just winning year after year. We wanted to find a way of making that available to more people.
Now, you've launched this school already. How far along into this first semester are you?
Well, we've just had our first cohort. We're adding new cohorts all the time now because this is proving to be really popular. When I started the course as an idea, as I say, it was to be more inclusive, to have people from America or people that couldn't afford the course, or people that are working full time doing other things who want to be in advertising. I wanted it to be for them. But actually what's happened is we've got such an incredible reputation with our agencies, the agencies that support the school, that they're putting their people on the program. So
Really?
for example, 4 of the 10 people on the April cohort, so the cohort that started last month, 4 of them are from JKR USA. So they are working in various JKR offices. I'm sure your listeners will know JKR are an amazing agency known for their branding. They're branding for things like Domino Pizza and stuff like this, but they're really keen to own the bigger idea and make sure that they're showing up and having bigger and better ideas for their clients. So for a while now, they've been putting people in London on London courses, but they've now realized that we're cheap for America. So they put 4 Americans on the course, and I'm benefiting from it because I'm learning I'm learning American case studies and stuff like this that I can bring my London students.
Well, Henry and I have talked about this since the beginning of our podcast, that there is a dearth of training in our industry, and your school and these courses are a positive and powerful answer to that hole. A bit of a mixed metaphor there, but you get my drift. Um, and I want to testify to the enthusiasm and the energy of the students of yours I met in your in-person, your on-site school, by telling viewers that I was there on a Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock, and I stayed and gave a 2-hour workshop, and your students stayed until what, 5:30, quarter to 6 on a Friday. Now that just speaks volumes about the commitment of that cohort, those young people who really care about what they're doing in the industry, and their commitment to you, Mark. So it's gratifying to hear that you've had a good start. And so I'm guessing now what you're saying is you have an April cohort and then there's a May cohort. So this is going to be staggered.
Yeah, we got
Ah,
that's right. We got a May cohort which starts in about a week's time, and then
okay.
we have a June cohort which starts in about 5 weeks' time, and then we'll go on. Those will be continue to be served, but we won't then take any new cohorts until after the summer, and then we'll continue to add new cohorts after the summer.
That's
We
wonderful.
yeah.
I,
Okay.
I have a couple of anecdotes, and this is very exciting. And I just thought I'd share these anecdotes. About 25 years ago, I'd say close to 25 years ago, at the little boutique ad agency I was at, we had a potential client come in, and this guy had this, what I thought was a cockamamie idea for something that he called distance learning. And the idea was to teach university across oceans. And being an idiot that I was at the time, I thought this guy is on something. Like there is no way. And I think part of that is, we were all sold on this, very traditional model of education, of in-person education. But not only that, I think at the time, to be fair to myself, it was before broadband internet. It was before video conferencing through platforms like this. It was, yeah, it was hard to imagine. I mean, we were still 8 years away, 7 years away from an iPhone, right? So I think it was just hard for me to imagine a world in which the quality of the communication across oceans could be instant. It could be so good and instantaneous. So that was uh, one anecdote I wanted to share. The other is that once, obviously, all this happened, I did myself participate in distance learning. I was in the first cohort of uh, Professor Mark Ritzen's
Yeah.
mini MBA in marketing. And I had been following Professor Ritson for a little while at that time, and really become enamored with his kind of heterodox viewpoints on the industry. And he put this mini MBA in marketing together, and it wasn't cheap, but I asked myself, and the reason I bring this anecdote up is because for people that are watching this and thinking about it and looking at the price tag, um, I asked particularly, you mentioned people that are already in the industry that want to improve their portfolio, want to move up, maybe want to move into creative. Um, I asked myself, this was 2016. I asked myself, how much money has your career provided you in the 20 years you've been working? And the answer was a lot, right? Like I had been working 20 years, making a steady salary. I said, how much have you reinvested to prime the pump of your career in terms of continuing education? And the answer was zero or close to zero, maybe a few books here or there. I bought Howard's book at one point. But
You almost got in
um,
trouble there, Henry.
so right there, I convinced myself, you know what, I'm going to do it. So the other part of that anecdote was that I paid for it. Like I don't remember the day of the week. and I don't remember how many pounds it was. And like a day later or 2 days later was the Brexit vote, and the pound crashed. And if I had waited like 3 days, I would have gotten like a 25% discount
Oh
on just on
no.
the exchange rate. So I'll tell people, regardless of the exchange rate, take advantage of the discount code. That's 500 pounds off of the tuition.
Yeah.
Um, and the last thing I'll say is I really marvel, and not just in our industry, but we're seeing it across domains, right? The ability to gain access to some of the world's best thinkers, um, in a way that is unprecedented. If you're about self-improvement, if you're about learning, there's never been a better time to be alive because you have the access to, and people in the States, you could only dream before about attending SCA. Now you have access to something like that. So, phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal.
Very kind. Thank you. I suppose a few things I'd love to pick up and just explore a little bit there. Um, I love that you put yourself on Professor Ritson's course, and of course you would, because you understand how important it is to invest in the most important thing, which is you. You are the one truth and in your life, and so therefore it makes perfect sense to invest in the only truth that you know, which is you. And I celebrate that you did that, and I celebrate that you're inviting those people that listen to you to also invest in their truth, which is them. And it reminds me of my favorite quote of all time. It was written in the late 50s, early 1960s by Alvin Toffler. And he wrote this, as I say, 60 or so years ago, but it's incredibly prescient. He said that the illiterate of the 21st century won't be those who can't read or write, but those who fail to learn and unlearn and relearn. And I think it's so important that we very much hold tight onto that thought that we are fast in danger of becoming illiterate unless we continue to think about how we stay purposeful in this fast changing world. And then on top of that, and I know that we as friends have spoken a lot about the world of AI in the past, and how quick it's changing, and we're speaking together sort of not long after WPP have announced their new platform, the big platform that they spent $250 million in partnership with NVIDIA building, and not long after Fiverr.com's chief exec sent out his email to all freelancers on the platform, saying it doesn't matter whether you're a creative or a lawyer or a salesperson, AI is coming after you. So we know that the technology is taking care of some of the, let's call them they are the given abilities, right? To be reliable is now a given. To be credible is now a given. So now we need to think about the stuff that machines can't do. And machines can't be you. What machines can't do is bring your sensibility and your vulnerability. So we're looking for new abilities. We're looking for the abilities that AI doesn't have. Vulnerability comes from learning. It comes from accepting what you don't know and looking for what's new. And creativity demands sensibility. It's about looking out and having taste. And so what excites me about you going on the course with Professor Ritson, or people that choose to go on this course, or any course for that matter, is it's celebrating that ongoing lifelong learning that Alvin Toffler talked about, yeah, sort of 60, 70 years ago. And it talks about how we're going to win this AI race, because humans are racing against AI. And the only chance we have of winning that race is to be ourselves and to keep on reinventing ourselves. That's my rant for a Friday afternoon with you. So,
Well, I clearly understand the level of enthusiasm I experienced and witnessed among your students, because your enthusiasm is infectious, Mark. And we're very excited to play our small role in spreading the word for the School of Communication Arts online. So let's just repeat. April cohort is underway. May cohort starts when?
May cohort starts any day now. It's about, let me just go online. It's about a week away. The welcome, at least, uh, is on May the 21st. Not too bad.
Okay, so
May the
people have time
21st.
to sign up. They have
Yeah, we've
time
got
to
a bit of
sign
time
up.
to come on May 20th. Otherwise, the June cohort starts on the 18th of June.
Okay. And
So
that's those three cohorts comprise the first launch of the school, correct?
yeah, that's where it all starts. So if you join, you will definitely be asked for testimonials as we build this, and we'll be making
Right.
sure that you do super well because we're wanting to make sure this becomes as famous as London School has become famous in the
What's
industry.
that discount code again?
Bros 500, BROS
Bros?
500. Yeah.
We will put that in all the announcements, and you can please share us with us a link to the school where they can register, and we'll do our best to spread the word. This is really great stuff, Mark. Thank you for joining us. So I would say onward.
Thank you so much. Come back and visit soon. Henry, come and see us when you're in London, please.
I will.
And yeah, it's great to see you. Thank you so much.
All right. Good stuff, Henry.
Good stuff, Howard.
He's Henry Gomez.
He's Howard Eibach, and together we're the Brief Brothers. Till next time, bye bye.
Bye.